All right, speaking of videos, we talked about using children's books. Uh, you just took a little bit of an exploration on your own into looking at the 6E, looking at an actual 6E lesson and how it's planned inside of that backwards design model. Next, what we are going to move into is we are going to think about, and I think you'll enjoy this part. I want to show you some of the top sites, especially for elementary students, for gathering videos and using videos in your classroom. So before we even start, this isn't in your book. It comes from my experience as being a science teacher and thinking about when are videos good to use in a classroom? And so you have listed on your screen four things that I thought if I had to narrow it down to just four, these are four reasons why I would say videos can really bring power to your instruction. So, one of the first reasons is because it provides the next best thing to experiencing whatever phenomenon or information you're trying to share. So let's face it, you're not always going to be able to beat Bill Nye. And sometimes it's just plain hard to simulate some of the experiences or the content that you're trying to teach. So one of the next best ways to bring the experience to the students is through videos. And sometimes these videos will help them elicit questions, might help us explain information. And again, it's not a substitute for ever, if you have the opportunity to get students' hands and have them do the science, but sometimes we can use videos to help us get a little closer. Another reason to use videos is because they're engaging. Many students are used to the dynamic visuals that videos have to offer, and it is a nice way to quickly capture information and to get it to them visually and auditorily. Perhaps one of the best ways um, or supports for using video in the classroom, I think, again, I'm saying this off the top of my head, but I think it creates an equal playing field for our students. So by using videos, we can have one common experience across our entire classroom so that we can talk about it. We can't make the assumption, for example, that students have ever felt a fossil before, or that students have been to museums to see things like mummies. However, we can, through the use of video, know that at least every one of our students had a superficial, perhaps, level of experience with the content that we're sharing. Another reason is because if we incorporate and infuse videos alongside websites, alongside what we have to say as educators, and if you're using a textbook, which your author says, this provides just one more voice to talk about the topic, one more expert, I guess you can say, to integrate into the conversation and to add to again, that collection of, of authority and understanding. I do want to say, however, we should definitely proceed with a little bit of caution. It's not to say that you should not necessarily show an entire video to students, but sometimes you might want to consider showing just the part of the video that is important to the content you're teaching.